What's up guys, it's fermagic.
Is Uigo?
So today we want to make a video reviewing the uniforms for the Endgame update coming up. We will skip the Thanos uniform because we'll do a separate video on Thanos uniform and T3 expectations as well. So let's get started. So first of all, the Captain America Endgame uniform. You can see the uniform effect is entirely different. So now for the uniform, you have 50% rate when hit. It applies to self, increase all attack by 15%, all speed by 1%, crit rate by 15%, remove incapacitation, and 100% chance for immune to all damage. Now, obviously, the remove incapacitation is completely new, and this gives, I think, Captain America some new potential in PvP. Maybe not in the level of AT, but then in AC, I think you can now consider Captain America to be used to take on a Shrive, maybe a weaker Shrive in the opposing alliance. So compared to his old uniform, where he only has the immunity to all damage, and the activation rate is 45% rate when hit. So the activation rate is higher in the new uniform, and the effect is also stronger. So all in all, I think that this uniform is pretty good. I would recommend it for people if they like Captain America, and even though you bought the Infinity War one, you should also buy a new one as well, because he just has better skills and also better in PvP as well.
So the main point is the removing incapacitation that it brings with the uniform.
Yeah.
Now for Iron Man, when we compare it back to the Infinity War uniform, it's basically the same effects, but just slightly better. The shield refreshes by 5% for the Endgame uniform, but for Infinity War it's just 3%, so 2% more for every second. And it has all defense plus 20%, but in Infinity War it's only 5%. So it's a slightly better one.
Okay, so moving on to Nebula. You can see Nebula's skill has, I think, a pretty huge revamp. And the uniform bonus before is completely useless, basically. You just add stun. So the new uniform will give her a lot more damage. You can see the increase in lightning damage by 20%, and also enhances 2 of her skills. So given that she has new skills, new animations, and also bonus damage, if you really want someone to push maybe for Shadowland stage and extra stage, I think Nebula in the new uniform can definitely have the potential to solo a stage. So it depends on what you want. Nebula could be a good purchase, but it's not a must.
I'll say that it's basically an instant purchase if you want the characters to be usable again. And now for Black Widow, she has a way better look in her new uniform. And previously, the uniform bonus has an activation rate. It's activate when dodging, where she has increased critical damage and critical rate. Now for the new one, is now a standard buff. So you always have the 15% crit rate and crit damage buffs.
So I think for Black Widow, the difference is pretty huge as well. I think her 4th skill a bit surprised me when the skill lasts for a long time and have a continuous attack animation. But I think it's not a must, but it's a good uniform overall. So moving on to Ronin, obviously when you compare it to the latest uniform for Hawkeye, which is the classic look, the uniform bonus is completely new, but it's not really useful. It just increases the critical damage. But the main point for this uniform is the complete change in the entire skill set, and a very nice design in the skill as well. So, and also his 5th skill has a really long iframe that hits everybody. So personally, it's one of my favorite uniform in this update. The character itself wouldn't be very useful, but the skill is looking very nice, I would say.
Now for Hulk, it's basically the same, enhances the effect of Enraged, but the skill obviously changes. And if you look at the live stream earlier, you know that his skills had a little bit more iframes and stuff. So we'll see whether the extra effects on the skills is. So it may not be a must buy for this update.
Yeah, so moving on to War Machine, Activation rate 60% chance when attacking, apply to self, increase 15% chance of all attack, compared to Alt 1, which is only 10% of all attack. And so it's just a slightly increase in the attack. The skill animation is more or less the same. I wouldn't think that War Machine is very recommended for all of you.
Now for Rocket Raccoon, it's still the 25 increase in all attack, but you now have 10% more ignore defense, so you can use less of your stats, less of your uniform bonus or your 4th gear to increase the ignore defense. Now Ant-Man still has the guard-breaking meal from his latest uniform, which is Ant-Man and the Wasp, and the 5% increase in all attack from Ant-Man and the Wasp uniform changed to 15% for the Endgame Uniform. And it also has additional changes and effects of 2 of his skills. The Elusive Hero, I think it is actually his passive.
Yeah, so I think for Ant-Man, it's not a must-buy as well, since he's not meta in any sense. But if you have T3 Ant-Man, I think the new uniform will make him definitely better in Conquest, maybe. So now moving on to the new uniform synergy system. So basically in this system, it lets you enhance your uniforms more efficiently. So right now, the synergy uniforms consist of 2 specific uniforms. So for the endgame ones, it's basically all characters have 2 uniforms, and the team suit and the endgame suit are the synergy ones. So when you own one of the uniform, you can buy a synergy uniform at 40% off the normal price. And I think the good thing is when you upgrade the uniform, it will also share the uniform XP and rank and options with other uniforms. And when you have the synergy uniforms, you can give you a bonus stat, 5% bonus stat in all attack and all defense. So I think this system is created just so that Netmarble can sell us 2 uniforms at the same time, while not making completely different skills and different animations for both of the uniform. And at the same time, it won't be extremely expensive like other players expected. They need to spend, I think, 12k of crystals just buying uniforms, which is a bit expensive. So I think this system is pretty good in general, I think, in my opinion. So yeah, that's it. We'll see you guys next time. We'll make a video about Thanos very soon. Bye.
Bye.